Nowadays, when we open our TV, there's only one terrifying image: the sounds of drone missiles that fly on the skies of Middle East and a mighty country that is leading the world to the third biggest war. What we're gonna talk about is not a coincidence, but a real story that is written on a Bible. Yes, we're gonna talk about Iran. What we read on the Bible about Iran or Fars and Elam, her ancient name, will change the current political situation of the world. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God. The name of Iran is mentioned in great ancient books multiple times, but Iran is not always mentioned as the enemy of Israel, as the Westerns say. The country that today claims to wipe Israel off the map was once Israel's closest protector and builder of her temple. Iran is not only known for her extreme politics. At the time when Jesus Christ born, one of the wise people were from Iran, and they fulfilled the word on the prophecy of Daniel. So what is the role of this country from Genesis up to the Revelation? What does the Bible say about the terrible war raised by Gog and Magog? And what does the ancient Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church say about the last war, and how does she reveal the secret? So the story of Iran doesn't begin from this war, but begins from the era of Noah. God gave Iran unique share in the history and also a great ancestry. When we go to Genesis chapter 10, we find two key names, Madai and Elam. Madai is the son of Japhet. He was the father of the people of Madon, who occupied the northern and mountainous region of Iran. These people were so strong in nature, and not easily won in wars. On the other hand, there is Elam. He is the son of Seth. He was the grandfather of the ancient Fars people who occupied the southern and western part of Iran. This shows that these two different ancestors who had different identity build up to the current Iran. This is where the secret is revealed. What Iran doing today didn't come without any reason, but it came from the history that happened 4,000 years ago. To understand this, we need to look at the first worldwide war in Genesis chapter 40. A mighty king of Iran named Kolodogomor rises. But this king wasn't alone. He binded 4 mighty kings' army and marched them very far till Israel and Palestine. So Kolodogomor marched into Israel. He destroyed and robbed the country. Then he captivated Abraham's brother's son Lot. And he officially declared war with people of God for the first time. But Abraham didn't use any power from the mighty kings, but instead he took the 380 boys that were born in his house and attacked at midnight. They won them and brought Lot and the taken goods back. The king of Elam always wanted supreme power on the Canaan people. And also the leaders of Tehran wanted that to happen by centering Jerusalem. When Abraham won the war, he transferred a message to the generation that shows no matter how powerful the kings are, no mighty power can ever win the power of God. But their story didn't end being a loser. Now let's go to the story of Babylon. At the time when the Israelis were crying, thinking about the fallen Jerusalem under captivation, a great incident happened in the palace of Babylon. God raised an amazing young boy. His name was Daniel. What Daniel saw in his vision in the palace wasn't about that time only, but was also about this era. The king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, saw a dream, and Daniel told him its meaning, as it's written on the book of Daniel, chapter 2. Then again Daniel saw a vision. The vision was this: he saw the rise of a great kingdom after the lion of Babylon. He saw a bear standing on his one leg, grabbing 3 bones between his teeth. This shows that the Pharaoh was going to be the next mighty kingdom who has powerful armies. And the 3 bones resemble 3 kingdoms that Pharaoh swallowed to become powerful. Those 3 countries were Lydda, Babylon, and Egypt, as it's written on the book of Daniel, chapter 7. When we blend this story with the current situation, Iran's regime followed the strategy of Shia's moon, which means to control the land up to Mediterranean. As the bear on the ancient story grabbed 3 bones in his teeth, the current leaders of Tehran also grabbed 3 countries in proxy war. The first ones are the armed group found in Iraq and Syria. Always attack the American base. The second ones are the armed group of Hezbollah found in Lebanon. Always attack Israel. The third ones are the armed group of Houthi found in Yemen. They want to control the Red Sea and the World Trade Center. So do you think this is just a coincidence? No. But the prophecy of Daniel wasn't over. He again saw a vision, but not on an ordinary place. Daniel saw his vision on the below district of Elam, around the river of Ulai, near the wall of Susa. Susa wasn't an ordinary city, but the capital city of Fars. As it's written on the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 4, Iran is declaring war with everyone around the world. This verse clearly shows the current image of Iran. But we need to ask ourselves a question. Does the Bible see Iran as an enemy and a warlord always? No. Before 2,500 years ago, today's Iran was the only protector of Israel, who took the Jews out of captivation. When the Israelis were captives of Babylon for 70 years, God raised an unexpected leader from the mountains of Iran. His name was Kyros. This mighty king's name was mentioned in Prophet Isaiah's book before he was even born. On Isaiah 45, verse 1. Kyros was a Gentile who was anointed and chosen by God. His kingdom was powerful, so he planned a complex strategy and controlled the kingdom of Babylon without any war. But he wasn't like other kings. He didn't rob the country. Instead, he freed the captives and he issued a new decree for the Israelis, as it's written on the book of Ezra, chapter 1. Today, Iran, which claims that it would destroy Israel, has rebuilt the Temple of Jerusalem at its full cost and returned the 5,400 gold pieces that Nebuchadnezzar took. But their relationship didn't end that well. Now let's get 2,500 years back to the capital city of Fars, Susa. At this time, Artaxerxes was the king. The kingdom of Fars includes 127 districts, starting from India up to Ethiopia. At this time, a poisonous man in the palace gets a position. His name was Hama. His story is written on the Book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 1. He was a man filled with unreasonable hate. A Jew man named Mardochaios didn't bow to him. Because of that, he decided to kill all of the children and women of Jewish in one day. So he told his king to allow him to kill people who have different beliefs and cultures, because they are trending. The king permitted this, and that day was settled. Every Jew in Fars were anxious and sad, but God always had a way. Queen Esther made her people to fast and pray for 3 days, and she wisely invited the king and Haman for a feast, and then revealed Haman's hidden plan. Then he was killed, strangled with rope prepared for Mardochaios. Iran on the New Testament has a great name doing good deeds. From the 3 wise men who came to bow for Jesus Christ in Bethlehem, one of them was from Iran. And this is mentioned on the other ancient books of Ethiopia. That was for today. May God help us to bear fruit from what we heard.